Picture this. It is your final year of high school and you're about to play your final game of football for your team. This team that you're about to verse is a team that you have lost to twice before, pretty badly as well. So it was really important to win this for the school, but also like for myself. This was my final game. I was captain as well, so the stakes were really high. I was also head girl. I had big dreams. I was a passionate 17-year-old who wanted to change the world, as all passionate 17-year-olds do. And I thought, if we just win this one thing, then everything will be okay. A lot was riding on it, so I wanted to make sure that I pushed myself and my team. But 2 weeks before the competition, the game, I had the rug just ripped out from right under me. When my coach decided, we're going to change the formation that we have used almost every single game for the last 6 years, and we're going to change it up. We're going to try something different to try and beat this team. I was confused, the team was confused, but I knew that we had to try our best, and so I tried to pull the team together. I have always found positioning and strategy something that's come really easily to me. I have found since graduating a few years ago that I have ADHD. I guess it's a strength. So when I was suddenly struggling, that was really difficult for me to navigate. Even more so when there was the pressure there to succeed. But there was also this added pressure that my teammates and my coaches didn't know, and that was the fact that I was queer. Now, I went to a Catholic school, and not many people were out when I was in high school. Toss in the fact that I was head girl, it was a really big deal. I didn't want to give anybody the opportunity to diminish all of my achievements by saying, yeah, but she's just this one thing. I didn't feel confident in myself. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't have the language to describe that. So I thought, if I just do this one thing, I need to be the best in academics and the best on the pitch. I had to keep winning to not give people an opportunity to tear me down. So this game was important, but nobody knew. So I was lying and trying to navigate all of this stress while dealing with not knowing where I fit on the pitch as well, and also off the pitch. But we had to deal with it because it was the game plan. So the day of the state finals, we got to school, and I remember it was loud. We did all of our normal pre-game rituals where, we would have pasta bake and an up and go. I always picked chocolate because duh. And then we took photos, got on the bus, had the speakers blasting. I remember just Venga Boys non-stop for about 20 minutes because my coach was English, and just the excitement, but also the gravity of it all. This was my final game. After 6 years of playing and representing my school, this would be it. This was hopefully 3rd time's lucky, but we knew that we had an uphill battle to face. So we get to the playing field, and it was about an hour's journey to get there, quite always from my school. We start training and warming up. We're all a bit nervous, and then we get ready and we're lining up to step onto the field, and you can smell the grass, freshly cut, the paint, fresh paint lines down on the pitch, and you can hear the family and friends in the stands. And we walk onto the field and we shake the opponent's hands. And I remember just taking a really big, deep breath and going, this is it. This is your final chance to prove something, to prove that we can do it, and to prove that you belong here. Obviously here on the pitch, but here in a larger sense as well. So we started the game, and I won't lie, we felt optimistic. You know, I think it's always bad to have a negative headspace going into a game. So we believed that, you know, if we tried, if we worked together, then we could win. I remember being a sort of central defender. I was an anchor for my team. I was the person who was the loudest on the pitch. That was a skill that I learnt through football. And I was the person who was meant to see everything, to guide everybody, to hold everybody together. And I just remember hearing the referee's whistle blow and beginning to move as a team. But that's about where the good part of that story sort of stops, because we shortly conceded our first goal, and then the second, and then our third, and then our fourth. We haven't even reached half time yet. We're already feeling so dejected. I feel like I've failed. The team feels like they've failed. We're in a horrible mindset. And I'm yelling at my coach and he's yelling at me. We're all frustrated. I can feel the sunscreen melting into my eyes because it is such a hot, sunny day. There are no clouds in the sky. There is no reprieve from this pressure that is being put onto us. Until finally the referee blows a whistle and it's halftime. We walk off the field and it's a bad place to be. We're 4-0 down. There's still another half to go, and as captain, you have to step up for the team, and so that's what I did. But I was so frustrated, and I didn't know where I was meant to go. But we persisted, and we came back on, and we started again. And you know, the game kept moving and we kept going, but we shortly conceded our fifth. This was like a breaking point. My coach is yelling at me and I'm yelling at him. And I never really yelled at my coach. I was loud. Sometimes I was louder than the coach, but we never yelled at each other because there was never a reason to. It was generally always in a good position, but in this game I just felt so lost. I didn't know what I was doing, neither did the team, so we were just running around. You should be there, no, be here, no, be there. I couldn't process anything. There was too much information and I just went into systems overload, and I remember snapping at him and just thinking and saying to him, I'm doing my best. I felt like crying, but I had to hold it together because that's just not what you did. You had to hold it together. There was still football to be played. Shortly after that, we were signalled that there was going to be a substitution, and my number was on the board. As a footballer, you never want to be substituted, not even if you're injured, let alone if you're captain and not injured. So that was hard. having to walk off the pitch, knowing that I was leaving all of my teammates behind, I'd failed them. That was a really hard moment for me. I remember throwing my bottle on the ground and kicking it, and I felt like my whole world was crumbling, because this game wasn't just this game, it was everything. It was being a role model for my teammates, it was being a role model for the school, it was the impact that this game had on our whole school community. And I just remember feeling so frustrated and not understanding why everything had gone so horribly. We ended up losing that game 7-0. It wasn't the worst loss we'd ever faced, and we still can look back at the achievement that a group of girls, the majority of which had never played club football, only ever played in school, had made it to a state finals, not once but 3 times in a row. A really diverse team full of amazing players with amazing stories, and we did that. And I can look back on that moment now and think, wow, that was such a great achievement. Because I know something that my 17-year-old self didn't know, and that's the fact that you can't help others unless you've helped yourself first. Sometimes things aren't going to go the way that you planned them, and that's okay. In fact, most things are not going to go the way that you plan, but one, you don't need to be everything. You don't need to prove that you deserve to be on the pitch or in that meeting. You do deserve to be there because you are enough, and you will always be enough. And so I know that I am enough.